The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Milt's freaking today, Milishman. My name is King Prime. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another The Transformers The Movie Studio Series 86 action figure, that being the Transformers The Movie Studio Series 86 Core Class Steeljaw. Yes, one of our mini cassettes, Autobot mini cassette, has been brought to us, at least one of the more lesser known ones, has been brought to us at long last. I believe this is one of, if not the last, Core Class 86 figure that we're going to get. I could be wrong, and I'll prove it by releasing another video after this one. But if this is the last Core Class figure that I review, I will be ending it on a... well, we'll talk about it. But before we do that, let's take a look at what Steeljaw comes in. Getting here close up on the box there, we have a nice picture of Steeljaw at the top, jumping out on Autobot City, as well as the Takara Tomy and the Transformers Generations trades. There's a nice banner on the bottom that says Studio Series, and then on the top of the box itself, The Transformers The Movie trades as well. Big red Transformers logo up on the side there at the front of the box, as well as his name, Studio Series, and his faction. The Transformers The Movie trades, again, Hasbro logo. On the side of the box, we do have the Autobot logo, as well as the same picture of Steeljaw, just reversed and blown up. So he's looking very angry. His tongue is red. We'll talk about that. On the bottom, it has Core Class. On the other side, that same photo of Steeljaw with the Transformers Authentic stamp. And on the back of the card, we do have the images of Steeljaw in his cassette and robot mode, as well as 6 steps to convert. The Transformers The Movie logo, Steeljaw. That's about it. Some legal jargon. But, of course, being a Studio Series 86 figure, this box is not just a box. It also has a sort of diorama display stand, which is, I guess, supposed to be the top of the Autobot City broadcasting tower, where they have to go and defend against the actual Cassetticons. This is not really important, so yeah. That's about it for the packaging. I say it in every single video, my friends, but you only really care about the packaging if you're a boxed or carded collector, which I'm neither. I'm here to open and review toys, and that is just what I want to do. Freeze frame.
You can't keep me in here, Megatron!
Freeze frame on freeze, and here is Steeljaw out of the packaging. Before we take a look at him, let's take a look at his accessories, and if you can believe it, he has a few, which isn't necessarily a good thing. First off, we do have this rather odd-looking speaker or megaphone bit, which is a G1 reference, if you can believe it, but it's a completely useless accessory without this little bit right here, which plugs into the bottom of the speaker right here. As you can tell, you just slot that in right there, and you have a speaker with a little bit attached to it. And then if you bring in Steeljaw here, remove his butt, yes, we'll get to that, and put that part in, you have Steeljaw with a giant speaker on his body, which is, if you can believe it, something that never happened in G1. This is a completely fictional item and accessory. It was just simply included to pad out the price, because this accessory is actually from the G1 episode Auto Bop, which is a Blaster-centric episode. It's where he and Trax go to the nightclub and the Decepticons are boogieing and stuff. It's a pretty meaningful scene. But if you were to bring in Blaster here, this accessory is actually for him. This is just, if you can refer to it, Blaster DLC. As you can see right here, out of this, there's a slot right here and a large indentation. That slot is supposed to go over this little tab right here on the outside of his fist, which is where the large indentation goes. Slot that over, and you have Blaster doing the thing just like he did in that episode. So, yeah, that's great. If we put Blaster aside here, the bit that gets left behind is, of course, completely irrelevant and only used for that one specific gimmick, making this a completely useless part. And ultimately, more important than that, parts farming. The other accessories, of course, the actual proper back piece of Steeljaw here, the one that has his tail and these 2 golden wings, and of course this is parts forming as well. This does not stay on Steeljaw while he is in his lion mode. This gets removed, and yeah, this is what the figure actually is when it transforms. That is dumb. That's really annoying. I hate seeing stuff like that. Truthfully, on God, the bottom of my soul. Getting into Steeljaw himself, though, and I'll put his parts forming back on him just for now so that you can see the completed image of Steeljaw here. He does look a lot like his G1 self, of course. This is no, sham. Of course, Hasbro does do a good job with the likeness here. As you can see, he has plenty of actual gold bits here, his blasters on either side of his legs, as well as his parts forming wings. He does have a little Autobot badge right there on his mane, as well as a completely picked out in proper paint red mouth with white teeth. I wonder why they went really hard on the paint, because they were charging, what, $13 for this thing? And this is not worth $15 or $13. Even with the megaphone, it's not worth $15. I think that's a total sham. That being said, this isn't a bad figure by any means. Of course, moving on to the articulation, he does have a little bit of, head down and up joints, praying that you don't accidentally split it in half because of the transformation. But yeah, you can have him, like drinking water from a puddle or something, or biting a downed Decepticon, which, hey, that works. Of course, his front feet do have articulation there, and as do his back legs have articulation. They can go all the way around, mainly due to transformation. If you're counting the wings, you can count the wings as articulated, and if you are to remove this piece, the back piece altogether, and get the blasters out of the way, you do actually have a waist swivel technically right here and right here. So you can get a little bit of posing out of this, but I don't know what you'd use it for. It's just nice that it's included. Not that it's going to be useful for anything, but hey, you know what? It's there. To compare Steeljaw to, here he is with our previous Studio Series 86 review, the Commander class, Optimus Prime. And as you can see, yeah, that's how he compares to Big Red. You can't even get him in frame without Optimus's head being cut off by my damn light here. Here he is next to his fellow Autobot mini cassette Rewind. And here he is next to Eject. And so we have 3 of the Recordabots currently in the line. Unfortunately, I don't actually have 86 Blaster. I have, as you can see, Legacy Blaster. And so I have the Legacy version of Rewind, and I have the Legacy version of Eject because of a somewhat sneaky thing I did. Don't have to get into it right now. But with this being the last 86 core class figure, it makes me wonder if we'll ever get Ramhorn to complete the quartet of the Recordabots. I'm not quite sure. It's just interesting that we wouldn't have that at all. But I'm sure that question will be solved at another time. For now, let's just move on to the transformation so I can show you exactly how Steeljaw works. Freeze frame.
What poses am I even supposed to do with this hand?
Freeze frame, and to transform Steeljaw, all you need to do, and this is, if you can believe it, very simple, remove the back tail piece with the wings and move it to the side. You're not going to need it anymore. Fold down the guns so that they are parallel to the back legs. Fold up the front legs so that they are parallel to the top of the body. Fold up the back legs so that they are parallel with the bottom legs. Fold down the head and then unfold it, split it right in half like so. And then fold it down either side of the head back into the cassette. And that is it. That's all you need to do. There is Steeljaw in his cassette mode, and if you can believe it, he's a cassette. He has 2 little tape dials there, which I believe are supposed to be over here and here, but I guess there might be some cassettes that are long and not wide. Whatever. You might be noticing, oh, but King Prime, where the hell does his tail go? Here, and you can't do nothing with it. Oh, where's that other piece go? The part for the CF? No, that gets put away too. And obviously, you're not storing that giant ass megaphone speaker thing on this cassette. So yeah, this is it. Have fun carrying this around in your pocket if you're playing with this figure. So but to bring in some others, here is Steeljaw in his cassette mode next to Rewind. Here he is next to Eject. And yes, of course, that's how they look together there. The recorder bots, the mini cassettes for the Autobots, blasters, boys, whatever the hell you want to call them. Here is Steeljaw next to our previous SS86 review, Optimus Prime. That's definitely not in scale. There's no way in hell that's in scale. But, you know, Hasbro does as Hasbro does. And here is Steeljaw with Blaster. And, of course, if you pop open Blaster's tape deck, you can just insert Steeljaw right in there, provided he stays together. And, yes, you can see him through the little window there. So, you know who's playing when the mixtape's cooking. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it for the comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts so I can tell you exactly what I think about Steeljaw Freeze Frame. Freeze Frame on Freeze. So overall, there is nothing objectively wrong with this figure. It has great paint apps. It's tiny. It's a core class figure, so don't expect it to have, like, you know, triple jointed, like, foot, knee, elbow, ball joint, this, that, and the other for the articulation. It's just not that kind of figure. But for $13, I mean, this piece of shit, the fucking, this is my main concern. Like, you want to make an all-in-one figure, right? A cassette is hard to do. I know the Masterpiece cassettes have done really well with that. And of course, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I have reviewed Frenzy and Rumble before, and those guys have the pile drivers, and those are parts forming, but they're weapons. This is not a weapon. This is a part of the figure, and it's a parts forming piece. So I do not like it. I think that's complete bullshit. Do I think that this figure is worth it? Absolutely not. I don't think that... I haven't even seen this thing on store shelves. I don't know why they decided to release this figure as a solo figure and then release a re-release of Eject with the Blaster SS86 figure. They should have just released this guy, and they should have released Ramhorn with that blaster and called it a day. This is highway robbery, and I regret my purchase 100%. If you like the Autobot mini cassettes or recorder bots, if you like Steeljaw, you should definitely get this figure. But I don't know anyone who likes this version of Steeljaw that much. Unless you're an absolute diehard for Blaster and his boys, then I would absolutely skip this figure. You don't need him. But if you want to ignore everything I've said here, or if you like Steeljaw, or you like Blaster, the Autobots, or Transformers in general, make sure you share this video with your friends. Share it with the Facebook group, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Keeps up with the channel grow. Keeps helping me pump out this content. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.